Talk to me about the day you got off the truck and started operating the business or managing the business as opposed to operating it. What led you to get off the truck? Talk to me about how that actually happened, because that's a very scary moment for a lot of operators.
Yeah, I mean, it was a weird time. I remember the day specifically. I mean, we're talking about long time. I mean, it was very important to me. I was very nervous. Describe the day. It's kind of weird how it worked out with me. It was, I had an employee, right? And he was a friend of, he was a close friend of mine. He worked with me a lot. And then over the course of probably 6 months after he graduated from college, while working with me, work was up, when you're first getting started, it's up and down and whatnot.
Yep.
And, he came to me and he was like, "Hey, I got to take another job. I got an opportunity, and, no hard feelings." And there wasn't any on my side. So it's just like, no problem, man. Like, I love you for it, and thanks what you did. And so he left, and then I hired someone new, and I made a commitment to this person. It's like, I'm going to give you the work that I can, blah, blah, blah. It hadn't been 2 weeks, and my old friend that had quit called me, and he's like, "I got fired from my job. They already laid me off because they figured they couldn't, whatever." And he was like, "Anything you can do can help." And it was literally, I just told him, I said, "Just come in tomorrow, and we'll just kind of, I know you can work tomorrow, and we'll figure it out." And then that next day, I just put both of them on the trucks because I had made commitments to the first guy, and the second guy I wanted to help. And I also saw it as like, here's my opportunity. And I let them go, and the rest is kind of history. I mean, there was a lot more to it. And, but the first day it was like, I didn't even tell the guy driving what he was making. Like, we didn't have none of us knew what we were doing. And then I remember the moment they drove off, I remember sitting thinking, like, what am I going to do now? I was just sitting there with my hands in my pocket. I had nothing. I had an apartment at the time, and I was just sitting there, and there's no good TV on at the time. I didn't know. And so, like, in my mind, I'm thinking, like, okay, what do I do? And that was, okay, I got to drum up business. Like, then that became kind of my obsession, was like, how do I now get the phone to ring? So that, because if I'm answering the phone and booking jobs, I'm doing something.
Right.
And so that was like the process of me then now building something new. And then the guys out on the truck, it quickly kind of turned into something with the two of them. And, just kind of the steps came from there.
Okay. So from the time you got off the truck to the time, you were steady booked with the truck one, how soon after did you get truck two?
I would probably say 6 months, something like that. Maybe not even that long. Yeah.
Fast.
It was pretty quick. Yeah. I don't like to be bored.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
So it was very quick. And I mean, but then the thing about it is, like, it's not easy, because the second truck, I remember, was just as big of anxiety for me to think, okay, now I trying to get a second truck on the road. And I'm pretty sure I was driving it in the beginning, because then it was like, I know I trust this one guy, but can I trust two people to drive, all this other stuff. So there was still a big learning process, and running 2 trucks in one day at that time felt like a monumental task. But that was the goal at the time. And then that's kind of where we went. And then 2 trucks is around, I think I was driving the second truck for a while, probably a short period of time, then trying to do what I was doing, answering the phones and driving the truck, doing all these things. And I quickly realized, like, now I'm not booking as many jobs because I'm on the truck. And so then I stepped back again. And then around that time, I convinced another friend of mine that was at a job that, he was fresh out of college, and I think he just had like a regular, I'm not sure what the job was. And I convinced him to come work for me as a salesman and put him on his salary. And it kind of took off from there, because then it was like a team of us. And then, it went from 2 to 4 pretty quickly, and 1 location to 2, and kind of, then that's when the ball really started rolling.